Good afternoon, traders. This is AJ Trader 7, one of the moderators here, and the greatest chat room in the planet, Awesomecallstrading.com. I want to welcome you to this Monday, March 4th, 2019. It's getting close to my birthday. My birthday is March 8th, and I will be officially 53 years old. I think in, what, 2-3 more years I can get Social Security? Sorry. So, anyway, today we had to, we had some really good setups in the morning that took a little bit of a few moments to get ready, really show us what direction they wanted. But once they started to really get going, they really paid us well. What we had some on our list today. We had the RKDA, which we were hoping for a pop and then a fade on it. CIFS, we were hoping for a 550 to 6. I think we got 650 on the upside. But I was actually, really eyeing some really fun stocks to gap up and pull at the open. MGTX was gapping on a Barron's article. MYOX had positive data out, but it wasn't primary endpoint met, so I knew that was going to give it up. I thought CRISP was gapping up on Friday's news too much. RGNX was gapping up on positive Barron's. Kier was positive Barron's. YY was gapping up on the positive tariff talks, which we all know that I like to short those. So I told everyone you can short Momo, Bazan, Baidu, WB, Nates, or Sina. Pick any of them you want. Just pop at the open and short all of them. So should I take credit for that? Yes, because they're very, very easy to do. And I'll show you the YY trade in a moment. Then I even got an analyst call with just a hell of a price target reduction to 57 on a $75 stock. Place was getting hit today. The great Janny told everyone to go long at the 78 area. And I believe also the amazing Fire Trader took this trade in pre-market with Janny, and I believe they walked it up. Janny was calling for 85, 86 pop at the open. I believe he was calling a little bit more than that, and he ended up getting 87 before it came down. Then there's, of course, ASND, Tesla, and we got a little bit of play on BPTH to, I believe it was 7.5. So, but the ones that really stood out were, for me, on Mondays, I try to look for those kind of easy setups to get traders going. And I knew with the market sort of hovering over flat that we'd probably get, even though it was gapping up, I just kind of felt we were going to sell off a lot of the news, and especially with the tariff talks. So my mindset was to short the Barron article trades, short the Chinese ones, and the Mayock was the bio. And yeah, those kind of, those were really what I was looking for the easy money. And I wanted to downgrade on DDS. So I'll kind of show you kind of the first trade here was DDS. Okay, so DDS was gapping down 2. I felt the stock had time to sell off. It had a $57 price target. I told the traders you could go ahead. It was gapping down 2. So if you want to take some nibble at 73, just know it's going to pop at 75 because it's going to gap fill a little bit. And when it does, average in, have a 74 average, and then you could fade it for the day. And the stock just worked out just absolutely perfectly. It couldn't have been more of just a sweet setup. You can see right here, here is Friday's close right there. And I just wanted it to, you could short here in pre-market. You can see this 73.60 area and even 73 here at 48. And just let it pop at the open. Gap fill right around there. Get it around that 74.50, 75. Get an average and then just fade it. You can see the fade, how it just came all the way down to 72.27. This is another ICPT type setup. Very effortless. You take 250 shares, you add on the pop, you have a 500 share position, and then you just take money on the way down. 1 point, 2 point, you make $1,000 trade. It's just so simple to read these. All you had to do was just wait for a simple gap. And you can't look at the fact and go, oh, I wish I could have done that. You could have done that. I mean, and I even reminded the traders in the morning when I was done with notes 10 minutes early, hey, take advantage of this because when it gaps up, you're going to sell it off and get 2 points. So even if you took it 73.80, averaged at 74.75, you would have had a 74.75 average, 74.50, and you still would have cleared 72.27, a 2-point play. So just like ICPT. And I do think the stock tends to keep going lower. And if you look why, you can see there's a gap that needs to be filled from a few days ago. You see it right here. And so we're looking for this gap to get filled about right here to 70 and just a tad under. So just a beautiful call by JP Morgan. Okay, so that was that one. The next trade that we did that I liked was Cure. Now, Cure had a positive article in Barron's this week, but what I wanted to do on Cure was short the stock. The stock, you could see, closed at $57 on Friday, and then today we woke up and it was sitting in the 60s. So I wanted everyone just to short the stock and gap fill it. So, and I gave a really good read on it and was very confident with the way it was going to trade out. And I told everyone here, gapping up, nibble some short at 59.50 because it had pulled a little bit. Any pop at the open, scale into it, have an average, and take it down for about 2 points to the downside. I figured with gap fill probably down to $57, $50, $58 a share. So you're going to make some money on that. Really basic setup, nothing really too fancy about it. And it was pretty evident it was going to do that. So anyway, bell rang. You could have popped it at the open, got a nice 60 average right here. Here's 60.27, 60.60 market order, and just shred it. And within the first few minutes, it hit 57.60, 57.80 in about, I think it took about an hour. Anyway, it would have paid really well. 250 shares would have paid you almost, I believe, 3 points for a $750 trade with about $15,000 buying power. And really, really nice setup there. The next one that we had was YY. Now, this was a really fun stock, really kind of a no-brainer what it was going to do. And the reason why, again, tariff news means you get to short the gap ups. Now, again, I could have went all Chinese names and just made it simple, but I had the Baron stuff. I had a couple small cap stuff I wanted to play. I had Tesla in play, and I knew Tesla would probably sell off in 285, 290s. So I wanted to get a versatile of stuff, and I love the DDS call. So it was, I could have just went all Chinese names and just and I'll show you why. Okay, again, the tariffs come out, positive news. Oh, we're talking about it. Looks like we're going to get with agreement. Oh no, we really don't have one yet. It's not ready until it's ready. And we did this last time about a week ago where they were all gapping up. And again, I said the same thing. Just wait for the quick push at the open. Don't get scared out. Don't get shaken out. Just take them down and fully gap them. So YY was probably, to me, other than Cena, probably the easiest trade to do. So here's the close at $70, 71. Let's say it's 71. Let's call it a spade for spade, 71. You wake up and you're gapping up already $1.40. First thing I'm going to tell you to do is the stock's going to push right at the open, room to 73, scale in short, and then go gap fill it right back. And if you look exactly in the first 45 minutes, 30 minutes, it fully gap filled right there on the spot to 71 a share. I said it would probably pop back, but if you stayed with it, with the market pulling down, you could have got $70.50. So just an absolute beautiful setup. And you can see how I wrote it up for traders in the room. YY gapping up 2, short 72.40, room to add at the open, take it down to 71 and under. See how simple that was? Now, I do want you to take notice the talent of Awesomecalls Trading. Okay, remember when I said that I have a whole list of Chinese names on stuff like this? So here we go. WB. See the short? Look at that. 74 to 70. Ready? Want to see Cena? Look at that one. Pop at the open. It was already gapping up. Room to $69. Scale in short. Took it down. 65.78. Isn't that gorgeous? And you gap filled in the first 15, 20 minutes. And want another one? How about in the test? See the pop at the open to 220. Gap fill. Right? That came down 3 to 5 points. Baidu. See the gap fill? Even it collapsed on that. Baidu is one of the funnest ones to do. Trust me. Whenever I see Alibaba up, I'm always shorting Baidu. I always go for Baidu. Now watch Bazan. Bazan popped and pulled and sold it in gap fill. See the gap fill? Yesterday's Friday's close came right across. Friday's hit. See it? Do it again. Momo. See the gap up? Pop at the open. Scale in short. Friday's close came well below. You see this? How simple it is? You could have had any one of these. And so what I did was, because I had the other stocks in play, I said, look, if you don't want to do any of these, you have a choice, and you can take Momo, Bazan, Baidu, W. They're all going to pop and sell off. That's it. All right. So the next stock that we did was a stock called MGTX. And the reason why I wanted this for the traders in the room, because I wanted something small, really inexpensive to short. And this had a Barron's article talking really positive about the stock, but you had a lot of bag holders that were sitting at $16, $17. This was not an upgrade. This was just an article that was out in their newspaper at Barron's. So I love coming in on Mondays and just seeing all the Barron gap up because I play that. And we're one of the very few rooms in the world that will play a Barron's gap up. A lot of people won't play it because they haven't even read the article. And so they think, oh, it could have been said something that I'm not aware of and I don't want to get involved in it. So instead of just simply saying, I cannot trade that stock because I don't understand it, rather than just saying, I don't understand it. I was watching just a lame ass webinar the other day, and the comment the owner of that room said was, why do you want to play these pop and gap ups on these 1 minute candles? And I just kind of just sat there for a moment, and I had to listen to it 5 times and him say it. Why do you want to play the gap up in the 1 minute candles on the pullbacks for 2-3 points? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? Why would you stress your life? And I'm thinking, wow, this person clearly does not understand why stock is even gapping up to begin with for him to make a comment like that. And so what it just tells me is that a lot of these rooms you're in, they won't play things like this. I try to do 3 things. I try to find a quick morning place because I got a lot of part-time traders that come in here. They all have to go to work, whether they're in California or across the seas. They want to make quick money. So they come in here, look, show me a play for $200-$300. Let me be done my day. I don't want to do anything for the rest of the day. Or I just want to chill. I have to go to school. I just need to make my money quick. So I do the morning setup plays. And then you have the mid-morning action after the plays have already played out. Then I can start calling the bottoms, go long here. Here's the curls upside here. And then you have the afternoon plays where you could where the market's kind of low of the day. So you can just play those on the bounces or scalp trading for 50, 60 cents as long as the trend shows. I did this trade called Crisp live in the room on a midday right here because I saw the trend moving up. So I went long, 38, I think it was 92. I sort of sell order at 39.50 and another one at 39.99 while I went to bed because I had to take a nap, and they all hit. I came back and they were all filled. And I gave that before I left. I told everyone the entry, and told them where I'm going to look for exits and what I'm looking for. And it was nice because Darkside was on the mic, and he was also indicating that he did see an uptrend on it too. So he confirmed what I was looking at, which is always nice. So, and then I have the earnings plays that I do after the bell. And then I have the afternoon plays around 12 o'clock if I see something grinding moving to the upside or downside. And then I have the overnight plays that if I see something that got sold off, like Tesla's getting sold off, trust me, Tesla will gap up tomorrow. If Netflix is down, Boeing is down, you can take Adobe, you can take Stamp, ICPT, and those should all gap up tomorrow after the sell-off today. So, because the Dow is down 250 points right now. So, anyway, MGTX was just another trade. There were borrows, I believe, at IB, and Centerpoint had these as well. And what these did today was, again, it was gapping up on Barron's. Back holders sitting at below 17. So the trade was simple. Short at 19, take it to 17. That was the trade. I mean, it was just a no-brainer. Short at 19, 250 shares, you'll make $500. You just have to wait for it. Just wait for it to pull. It's not that hard. You don't have to chase these small cap CIFS and RACA, MDGS, and just like, gosh, I hope these go up. Just take a simplistic, simple trade. Something so effortless you don't even have to think. And just shred it, right? And then look at the notes, how it was written up. See, MGTX, I believe it was right here. There it goes. Nibble short at 18, room to 19, have an average, take it to 17 and under. Right there. I mean, no brainer. And it actually gave us over 19 at the open. So everyone could have nailed at least 2 points to upside, downside. Okay. The next one was, let's see, we did, DDS, YY, here, MGTX. The next one was Crisp. Now, Crisp, we had closed at basically $40 a share. This morning, it was staring at 44. I'm like, why are you even up? And that's because, some of the bios were all popping, market was gapping up, and this thing just got squeezed up. So I'm like, no, 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 no. This stock is a sell-off to 40, 50, and under. I mean, there's just no reason for this to be up. There was no upgrades on it. There was nothing. I already checked. So, and it's up thin. So I just said take some short at 44, room to add at the open, take it down to 40, 50, and under. And that's it. Bottom curl it, go long. Again, another effortless play. 100 shares, 200 shares, you make $200, 2 points to the downside. You can get in pre-market, take the short. If it opens, you're going to have to probably chase it. But in the end, it's still going to come down to 40, 50. And if you want to look at the stock, because you have to gap fill the stock. When you have no upgrades or reason for the stock to be up, you gotta gap fill it. And it had a hell of a run already on Friday, so it was going to come down. Once it started to pull and hit this area, if you want to look real quick, I mean, look at this pull. First, here's your gap. Pre-market, I'm writing the notes. I'm telling everyone right here, go short. And any pop up here, go to 44, even go to 46. I don't care. It's going to gap fill. See this area right here? I figured 40, 50, and under. Look at it. Why would you not want to short that candle to downside on a 1 minute? Again, the chat room you're in doesn't want to play these because they're afraid to play them because they don't understand them. You're limiting your ability to trade when you're working with somebody who just simply does the same stuff day in and day out. The NVIDIAs, the MUs, the Facebooks, the SPYs. It's actually stupid. Yeah, can the owner make more money than you because he's using bigger size because he can afford to because he's paper trading and using all of you guys' income to live? Of course. But wouldn't you want something that's just really simplistic, that doesn't cost you much, and you can make the same amount of money? I'm watching traders trade 10 shares in NVIDIA. Have you looked at some of the P&Ls out there? 15 shares in NVIDIA, 20 shares in NVIDIA. What if they came in and took 100 shares of a Crisp, knowing the stock's going to come down 3 to 4 points? They would make $300 instead of $25. You see my point? More money could be made doing less size stocks. Why are you going to short a $160 stock against the owner of the company when you can come in here and take a Crisp and drop it 2, 3 points with 100 shares at 4,400 buying power, knowing it's going to hit? Simplistic, easy way to make money. Easy way. I like Tesla to go 280, 250. So I want it to drop below 283. I see the 280, 250. So then I'll click it through Fidelity, okay? Because I think it's going to pull. Okay, so this was easy. So Chris was another one. And I wrote it up that same way, right? Pop at the open, scale in short. Boom, 40 and under, 41.50. Next one was Mayock. This is a beauty. I'm in the corner of my eye. I'm watching Tesla come down to 280, 250. I like to nail that thing and then bounce it for a 1.5 points. Quick money. Mayock. Mayock, I got this from Palmer. I read Palmer's feed this morning. I'll show it to you. Palmer gave it to me right here. Bank the trade. And he put it on here. Actually, he didn't put it on here. I think it was in the room he gave it to me. Yeah, he gave it to me in the room. Because he let me know about ASND, but he actually gave me, in the room, he said, Mayock popping 3 or 4 points on data. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I immediately looked at Mayock and knew it was going to be a sell-off. So I told the chat room on Mayock, I would prefer to get 54, 55 topping, short it, and take it down to 48.50 and under. And that was the trade. Simple. Simple. On positive data update. That was not a primary endpoint met. That's a big difference. A primary endpoint met on a phase 1, 2, or 3 is a difference, but positive data update isn't going to justify a gap up that's not going to sell off. Do you understand what I just said? Do you understand what I just said? Because that is the key essential to understanding how to read these stocks. If Mayock is not a positive phase primary endpoint met and it's just positive data gets sold off in gap fills. If the stock hit 47.75, I'm going to give you some value. but I'm going to take it down to 48.50. So I'm going to give you 75 cents because of that data. But that's it. You want to see the trade? You want to see how amazing we are as a group? You want to see it? So if you took short this 54, 55 area, and I said it would come down to 48.50, look where it hit. It fully gap filled right around here, came right across. Initially, it hit 48.50 right there. Found a bottom, came back up. Then it came one more time and gap filled all the way. And now it went back up. So if you couldn't short it and you just needed a gap fill, you could have took 48.50 here, played the stock all the way back up to 50, and still made $200 on 100 shares. Or you could have waited down here and waited for a full gap fill, 48, and still made $200 to the upside on 100 shares. You follow me? What a simplistic trade. Well read, well understood what it was going to do and why, way before it even opened. I was done with the notes 10 minutes before the bell rang. All this stuff was written 30 minutes before the opening. So everyone had an opportunity, the same opportunity to get in there and take 50 shares, 100 shares, 200 shares. You didn't have to go hit a home run. The next stock that we did was Place. Now I got to give credit where it's due to Fire and the great Janny. Both of these gentlemen were in the room pre-market. And if you had been in the room, the long was simply called out around $77, $78 a share in the room, pre-market. And the reason is Place, their numbers are horrific because they're buying the bankruptcy of Jim Barry. So they have a ton of overhead. And their exposure is a lot. They got a lot of inventory. They got the stores. I mean, they're taking a lot on. So they really stress to the investors on their quarter that you're going to see horrific numbers over the next 6 months. And at least the next quarter or two are going to be just horrible. They're not even going to meet them. Okay, so what happened was, hold on, I'm getting set up for Tesla. Okay, all I have to do is hit the buy order. Okay, so in this case, we needed a gap down. So we wanted to play it to the upside. So Janny and Fire were both calling the long at 77, 78. I did come in the room as well. I felt the stock would hit 285 pre-market. Janny felt more, 286.50, I think he was calling. And both of them hit it, their targets. I mean, it was just a well thought out, well played play. 78 all the way to 87. And then I came in and said, okay, if it peaks, go ahead and short the stock. And you got a double, you got a nice pull there. This would have been your ideal short. The lower low set in, you wouldn't have peaked it there and you still would be able to fade it. Really just a nice setup. But for the long side, it was well read in the pre-market run. Really impressed with the traders in here that did that. So that was Place. And then I gave a little one this morning. It was no biggie. It was just a quick long. I gave it free on Twitter, BLPH. It didn't run like it did, I'm sorry, BPTH, I think it was. Yeah, I'm sorry. I basically took long, said it would probably hit 750, and just looking for a quick 50 cents, maybe the 8 spot, and then it grind out. So it was a well-read stock. And I actually took it 675 this morning and was just looking for 50 cents. So there's your entry, 675, and there's your pop to 725, almost 2 times. First one was 726, and then here and here. And when the market, when it opened, stock pulled down a little bit down to 6 and just ran right back to 750, 760. So plenty of time to get out looking for that 50 and 60. 725 was pretty much what I was looking for. And if it had a big buyer in there, it would have been nice to, like, it had a buyer right here, but it wasn't a huge buyer, and it ended up just yanking off. But they're holding it here, which is pretty cool. So I don't know if the volume's going to pick up again, but it's just a really easy one. And the one that really was kind of disgusting this morning was a CIFS. Like a few of us got, and this was just the market makers were just horrific the way they were playing this. And I mean, they were popping it and yanking it, popping it and yanking it. Big buyers were coming in and yanking it. This is just a shakeout system like I've never seen. These MMs were just, they knew each time a buyer, a day trader came in, they were going to yank it right back down. It's like you either had to be like a magician to get in there and pop it and get out. The call that I felt was that the stock would go to today, 550 to 6. So I was real adamant. If it hit the 4.25 at the open, look for a 550 to 6 push. If not, then it should just sell off to 4.25. That's kind of like what I was looking for. I didn't think it'd run, but definitely give us 550 to 6 from the opening. If it pulled, it really bottomed out off a flag here at 463. I kind of wanted a 4.25, but it ended up giving exactly what we were saying, 556. So anyway, those were the trades today. We also played Tesla, which were right now. I just want Tesla's selling off today. It had a really nice. We were calling for a short at the open to, I believe, 295, I believe, and 295 just kept coming down, and it bounced. A couple traders in the room nailed the bounce. I am waiting for like 280, 250. I originally went for a bounce here. I think at 285, and I think it was up here, 285 right here, and I missed it by 20 cents. You could see it didn't. Yeah, right here, and it just ran 3 to 4 points. So I do think Tesla at 280, 250, buyers will come in and probably pop it to 284 and then sell off again. So that's what we're doing now. Just a lot of fun trades, little headache trades too, I have to be honest. I mean, we did have to wait for a little bit of more of a setup. We wanted to all short ascend, but they're holding it up pretty well. They're going to do an offering on this thing, and they're trying to accumulate up to 4 to 5 million shares today. Try to keep the pricing up. That way they can keep, if they do 1 million shares or 500,000 shares, they can get 110 pricing, 105 pricing, and not really hurt the stock for the investors. This is a phase 3 primary endpoint met. I do think in the end, there hasn't been a lot of upgrades other than Cantor. I think the stock will probably eventually start to come down. I think this gap will get filled, but right now it's in a run that we can't, be foolish for us to short right now. So we're going to leave that alone. And but there was a few traders that did nail the open and did yank it almost down on a fat finger to 104, and then they nailed the topping here at the 115 area down to 112. Alex was trading that this morning. So, all right. So I want to thank you for joining our great webinar. I hope thank you for allowing me to explain the morning setups and what I was looking for this morning. And I look forward to doing it all over tomorrow. This is my Twitter feed, and I am AJTrader7, and I get a lot of reviews every day of great traders that come in and speak and talk. And my friend Chris, he took the ASND setup, and he took size on that, 4,000, and so I was really happy about that. Palmer did really well on Cure. He took that down while he was part-time, because he's part-time. He can't trade all the time because he has his business meeting. But the setups were there. I was really impressed, and it was a lot of fun. It really, really was. I just can't say enough. So, and I want to thank Chris for this great tweet, because he took size, 4,000 shares. You can see him right here, and he just covered right there. You see it? So it was a nice paycheck for him, and well executed. Very, very happy for him. And that's what we do in here. It's all about just trying to help you make as quick money as possible, see what I see, and learn from it, and get better from it. And if you want to join the room, just click here on any of our links. And one day is 25, 1 week is 100, 1 month is $6.75 a day, or $197 a month. We do credit that back to you. And after you spend a month here, we do start sending you some gifts about the room and some webinars to keep you happy, keep you trained. And you can also go to any of our archived YouTubes. We have a bunch of webinars that we place out there, and you can just listen to any one of these as well. So Awesomecalls Trading is a website. And then, of course, you can always join Discord. We have a Discord service right here, and just really nice. 856 members, 212 online right now. And we love being able to have Discord. So, and it allows traders to talk about their good and bad, what they missed, what mistakes they did, and getting better as a trader. And you're more than welcome to share in there. It's free, and it's run by the Great Dark Side, and all the mods are in there, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, so I think we're all set up. I will see you tomorrow, and Friday is my birthday. So I'll probably do a morning session because I know traders depend on that, and the notes will be done. And then I think when my break comes at 8:30, I'll just go ahead and say spend the rest of the day just enjoying my birthday. It'll be a whole weekend of celebration. So, okay. All right. And thank you for joining us. I really do appreciate you. All right. Be well, be good, and be safe. Take care.